You are all welcome to Ordinary People Show.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're listening from in the world. You're tuned in to the Ordinary People Show, and my name is Jacqueline Dixon. We're broadcasting live out of Toronto, Canada, powered by Gbkm FM radio. I'm in studio this morning. Fantastic, sunny, beautiful Saturday in Toronto, Ontario. For those of you who are in Toronto, I want to give you an extra special shout out today. Or if you're listening from anywhere within Canada, I want to give you an extra special shout out because we just wrapped up our long weekend last weekend, celebrating once again Canada's national birthday. 151 years of independence, and we're still buzzing off of that weekend. What an absolutely fabulous weekend we had here in Canada. So many reasons to be happy, so many reasons to be proud, and I'm sure that today's show is going to elevate some of those reasons why as well. So make sure you stay locked in today. Make sure you stay tuned in. I've got a double whammy show for you today. For those of you who don't necessarily follow on social media, don't worry about it. There are so many events happening this weekend that GBKM has officially endorsed. We decided to bring you all of the information through my introductory on the show this morning. So buckle up your seatbelts and get ready. We're going to have a wild ride today. I've got a whole slew of events scheduled to talk to you about that's coming up in my next segment. But of course, once again, before we start our show, let's go through our pleasantries and thank the people that have us in the powerful positions that we are in currently right now as a platform, as a media house. That's what we can proudly say right now. Gbkm FM is a media house. It's the media go-to house for all of your social media needs, advertising, promotions, live from location broadcasts. You got it all handled right here under one roof with Gbkm FM radio. So let me thank my sponsor for giving me the opportunity to air another show today on the Gbkm FM platform, and that would be Blue Flame. Blue Flame Heating, Cooling, and Mechanical. Blue Flame Heating, Cooling, and Mechanical are heating and cooling specialists located right here in the GTA, specializing in hot water tanks, heaters, furnaces, air conditions, gas fitting, and so much more. They provide residential as well as commercial services 7 days a week, and they boast a 24-hour emergency service provided by the CEO himself, Mr. Neville Hall. For any of your home or commercial needs, please contact the Blue Flame Heating, Cooling, and Mechanical Company at 647-881-5111. That's 647-881-5111. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the Ordinary People Show so that you can receive your additional 10% discount. We also want to give recognition to New Era Communications, of course. New Era Communications is a leading professional speaking platform, again located right here in the GTA, providing professional sales training and business development for sales reps and entrepreneurs. If you're looking to increase your bottom line and train your sales force to increase revenue and give you better exposure in the marketplace, contact New Era Communications.ca. Also, New Era Communications is currently recruiting for this year's Meet the Motivators professional speaking event that is scheduled to take place in September. If you'd like to join this year's crew of professional speakers at this year's event, please contact New Era Communications.ca. That's New Era Communications.ca. So guys, I just want to take a quick moment out to tell you about my attire. If you notice, I got the white hat on, of course, and I got the red t-shirt. Notice the red t-shirt, of course, Gbkm FM. Gbkm FM is going to be out and about the city today and tomorrow. We're going to be everywhere, but nowhere in specific. Reason is because we've got so much ground to cover, so many events that we will be providing you content from, starting with, as we all know, this weekend, very special weekend in Toronto. Afrofest is happening. We all know that that is taking place. It's a 2-day event. You've been hearing us talk about it, starting today at 11 a.m., I believe, and they're going to go until 12 p.m. tonight and tomorrow as well. So we will certainly be passing through there to give our shout outs and say hello. If you do see us, don't hesitate to come and give us a chat, and we'd love to talk to you. The other major event that's coming up in the city, of course, is another Gbkm endorsed event. This is a huge one, guys. We are going to be the media house for this event as well. So we will be covering everything from the red carpet to the commercials, the interviews of all the top artists that are going to be coming into town, and all of the marketing that is necessary to promote the Lions and Lionesses of Toronto Leo Birthday Bash. This is going to be held on August the 17th at 1000 Finch. This is a national event center. What an outstanding, classy venue. It's going to be decorated to the nines as we welcome into town for the Lions and Lionesses Birthday Bash none other than the legendary Glen Washington himself, renowned reggae artist and legend. Glen Washington will be in town, ladies and gentlemen, headlining that show. Also headlining that show will be none other than the most funniest guy that we know in Canada right now, Mr. J. Martin himself. Mr. J. Martin will be there along with a rising reggae Canadian star, Mr. Herbie Fabulous, Laser Current, Tony Springer, and so much more. DJ Cool will be emceeing, and a number of other outstanding guests will be there that night. Come and enjoy yourself with us. Come and talk to us on the red carpet. Gbkm will be hosting the red carpet as well as broadcasting live for you as well. For tickets, don't hesitate to contact Gbkm FM, and we will instruct you as to what ticket outlet is the closest to you. There are a number of ticket outlets throughout the city. I believe Epiphany Bar and Lounge at 55 Beverly Hills, definitely a sponsor and ticket outlet. We've got the Slam Restaurant and Grill. Big shout out to Mina over at the Slam Restaurant and Grill on Keele Street. They're a ticket outlet as well. Number of sponsors also to recognize: Mr. Fresh, Blue Flame Heating and Cooling, and so many more. And once again, guys, that's going to be August the 17th. Stay locked to Gbkm FM to find out the details of that event and get yourself lined up to potentially win some free tickets. Tickets start at only $40 for general admission, $85 for VIP, comes with complimentary refreshments, and $125 for your all-inclusive everything included price of $125 for the VVIP. So it's definitely a great bargain for your buck. A huge event, once again, these are only Gbkm events. Our program coordinators, our marketing team, our production team, they are so busy on the road 6 out of 7 days a week. The next event that we want to make sure that you are aware of, and we will be happy to welcome you on the red carpet, is the Vigor Awards. This is the Vigor Awards coming to Toronto for the very first time. Gbkm is the official media house for this outstanding award ceremony, which will take place September the 7th. And I want you to stay tuned. I'm going to give you some more information on this throughout the course of the show today. Reason is because there's so much to share with you in regards to this, and I will probably get the producer in on this later on when I go to talk about this more extensively, because Gbkm is so heavily involved as the official presenters of this award. But it's an outstanding evening that is going to be recognizing who else? ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And you know, and I know that that is what we stand for here on the Ordinary People Show. We recognize, appreciate, and elevate ordinary people that are doing extraordinary things. How do you go from ordinary to extraordinary? Let me tell you, it's really simple. Stop talking about the things that you want to get accomplished in life and start doing it. And that's how you move from ordinary into extraordinary. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a blockbuster show for you today. I've got a double whammy, as I said. I've got two guests that are going to be in studio with me shortly. My first guest, as you might remember, Lucy Guerrera. Lucy Guerrera is going to stop by very, very shortly to tell us about her experience on the campaign trail. If you remember, we interviewed Lucy as a candidate for MPP here in Toronto, and she was a candidate that was representing the Trillium Party. The Trillium Party of Ontario. We had the distinct pleasure of being able to interview the leader of the Trillium Party, as they did take part in the Black Community Leaders Debate. Everybody remembers that, I'm sure, because you know that what? Yours truly, Gbkm FM. Once again, we were the official media outlet for that outstanding event. And I keep wanting to correct the record every time I see the record stating that there were three debates for premier this year. There were not three debates, there were four. And the very first debate took place at the JCA, which is 995 Era Road. Big shout out to Odama Patterson and the team over at the Jamaican Canadian Centre for hosting the very first provincial premier's leadership debate that spoke to the Black community. And this is where we were so proudly accepting of being introduced to the Trillium Party and the leader of the Trillium Party. And Lucy was a representative and still is, my understanding, a member of the Trillium Party. So she's here today to tell us about her journey, and we're going to get her on right after my first commercial break to hear what happened during the election process, where she's at today, what her future plans are, and what we can expect in the Ward 7 district now that it's being represented by a new MPP. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy to be here with you today on this sunny, beautiful day in Toronto. Once again, repping my Gbkm FM t-shirt and my attire that I will be boasting all around the city today as we pass by a number of events in order to recognize what the promoters are doing for the city, the community, and of course the organizers. We want to show our support for them, but most of all, we want to show our support for you. Every time we get an opportunity to mingle with you, we are there. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're going to take our first commercial break, and right after the break, we're going to bring on Lucy to bring us updated with the Trillium Party. Thank you for tuning in today. We'll be right back.
Greater Liberation City and Gbkm World Outreach Ministries Co-op present a 3-day supernatural crusade tagged Prophetic and Miracle Conference 2018. Theme: Sound of Abundance Season 13. Ministering: Dr. Gbkm. Date: Monday 16th to Wednesday 18th of July 2018. Time: 4 p.m. Venue: Paparazzi Event Center, 10 Dance Court Unit 8, Etobicoke, Ontario, M9W, 5TB, Canada. Jesus is Lord. Greater Liberation City and Gbkm World Outreach.
It's the Vigor Award.
Virgo International. The Vigor Award.
Vigor Award.
Vigo Award.
Vigo Award International.
It's the Vigor Awards International.
It's a celebration.
We celebrate the unsung hero.
Are you a hero? Will you be there?
Do you know a hero?
We might be at your neighborhood next.
Hi, my name is Gbkm. I am MPP designate from Mississauga, Malton.
Nominate the unsung hero in your community.
We could be coming to you next.
Be there. I want all the politicians, community leaders, the activists, the everyday ordinary people doing extraordinary things just to bless other people.
I like the idea.
This is the Vigor Awards International.
Support the Vigor Awards.
I support Vigor Awards International.
Celebrating the everyday people doing extraordinary things in our community.
The Vigor Award is coming to your community next.
Be there.
My name is Pascal Atoma, and I support the Vigor Awards International Canada.
My name is Queen Belave Oloto, and I'm the ambassador for Vigor Award International Toronto, Canada, and I endorse this message.
My name is Queen Amina, and I endorse this message.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, and welcome back. Thank you for tuning in today to the Ordinary People Show. For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, I want to give you my big shout out. Hello. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend in the T-Dot. And as I mentioned earlier in the first segment of the show, there's so much to talk about today. So many places, so many events happening throughout the city. And Gbkm, I'm all decked out in my Gbkm attire because as we make it through all of these events, so I want to make sure that if you do get the opportunity to see me and I get the opportunity to see you, we say hello. So don't hesitate to come up and approach us. Say hello so we can know who you are if you are a regular Gbkm FM listener or viewer. As I said before the break, guys, I've got a double whammy show for you today. My first segment of my show will consist of an interview with my one and only, she's my girl now, her and I are really good friends. We go back a long way. Lucy Guerrero. And Lucy Guerrero, for those of you who don't remember, I'm sure most of you do though, but I'll refresh your memory. She was a candidate for MPP in Ward 7, which is where the Gbkm station is located in Toronto. And she was representing a party that we got to know and love very dearly throughout this past election season. It's called the Trillium Party of Ontario. I'm so totally impressed with the makeup of that team and their resilience and their determination that I just took a special liking to that whole entire platform. And Lucy was one of the candidates, as I said, running for the position of MPP. So now the election process has concluded. We have a new premier, and we also have quite a few new MPPs.
That's right.
That are going to Queen's Park for the very first time. Lucy was so gracious enough to come back to the show and talk to us about her experience in running as a candidate and also the outcome of the election itself and what we can potentially look forward to now that we've had such a major change in government. So everybody, let's welcome once again our candidate for the Trillium Party, Lucy Guerrero, and our good friend. Hello, good morning, Lucy. How are you?
Hi, Jacqueline. Thank you for having me here. I'm excited. I'm fantastic, actually. This weather, you cannot be anything better with this weather.
Oh, thank goodness. Well, the heat wave has subsided.
Yes.
We've got a little bit of a breeze coming through now. Sunshine,
Yep.
Continuous sunshine in Toronto.
Like I say, nobody can complain after the winter we had.
No, I don't think we can. No one's complaining over here.
That's right.
Nobody over here. No.
Definitely.
So Lucy, you're back, and I'm excited to have you back.
Thank you.
You know, we spent some time together over the last few months, and it seemed like we spent years together. I mean, we got to know each other quite well as a result of your ambition to represent the Ward 7 district as MPP under the Trillium Party's banner. And I want you to please share with us your journey, your experience after throwing your hat in the ring. And then, of course, we can talk about the outcome and then what we have to look forward to. So please, if you could just take the opportunity to share with us your experience.
Yes, well, thank you for having me here again. And it's true, we have developed a really great friendship. And I must say that the experience for me was fantastic. It was an amazing experience. I don't think I would have done anything different. Maybe, start earlier. Definitely would have been, I think, a help for myself. But I think that this journey was fantastic. It actually helped me. It allowed me to meet some very interesting people. Allowed me also to see that, you know what, you don't really have to have like they say, a certain background or a certain even professional background or anything like that to run in politics or run in anything that maybe you want to do. I think you just have to have your heart and the desire to really want to make a difference, to really want to help and represent people, whether it be a team, whether it be in politics, whether it be in any business you do. Really kind of walk with the people. That's what I think. And for me, it was fantastic.
Wow. So, Lucy, from the time when you threw your hat in the ring, I remember my first conversation with you was so interesting. And I said, like, where do you start? Where are you going? Are you going door to door? How are you getting to the people? How are they getting to know you? And one of the things I remember very vividly that you mentioned was that you start your day pretty well every morning at Jane and Shepherd in the coffee shop.
Yes.
That there's a coffee shop there that you would take the opportunity to talk to the constituents in every morning, and everyone got kind of familiar with
I think there. For me, it was very different. I didn't really believe, I mean, I did the door-to-door because, of course, that's something that, that they tell you should do and all that. But for me, I think the biggest impact that I did for myself, and I think for the people that I met as well, was being part of their environment. So I'd go to the coffee shops. I mean, I'd be at a gas station. I'd be talking to somebody at the gas station. I'd say, hey, this is who I am, and I wouldn't even tell them who I am. I'd ask them how they are and, how long they've been living here, how what do they feel about the area and things like that. And then I would, introduce myself of who I am and all that. And I found that people were very, very, receptive of it. They really, really liked that. They said, you're very different. The other ones don't come to the coffee shops and talk to us or just talk on the street. But that's the personality that I have. So that's who I am. And I mean, it's my environment. It's my area. So, why would I not do that? So for me, I found that was, I think that was the best thing that I did.
Right.
And I met a lot of amazing people.
So, Lucy, you spent a lot of days, a lot of nights on the campaign trail. You pounded the pavement. You did the door-to-door knocking. Did you feel that you made some inroads? Do you feel that you had an impact? Did you become known? Because, I mean, the area that you were trying to penetrate was a stronghold, a liberal stronghold, and you and I know for Lord God knows how long.
That's right. Yeah.
It was under the Scroll dynasty.
Yep.
For so many years. Do you feel that you made an impact and any inroads at all?
I think I did. You know what? I knew that going in there, it was going to be a tough one. I knew that it was going to be a tough one, but that did not stop me.
Good.
And I feel I did because people, from what I was hearing from people were saying like they don't come out and talk to us. Yeah, before elections, and then all of a sudden they're gone.
Right.
So for me, I really enjoyed it. And another way I did it, and a lot of people knew. I mean, I've been driving for Uber too.
Right.
So I had mentioned that to you, right? So for me, I'm a people person. So for me, every time I'd pick somebody up from the area, I'd start chatting with them, and they were so happy to hear that somebody that is. That has a day-to-day kind of like they do, where they have to go to work, they have to do whatever it takes to make ends meet, is actually running for a position that is supposedly supposed to be a, how would you say it, a high, a person of a high standard. You know what I mean? There's something like, I can't think of the word right now, but it was nice to get that. And people would say, oh my gosh, you mean to tell me that I might just see you as my MPP being my Uber driver? It was nice. It was really nice. So I connected with real people.
Fantastic.
That's what I loved.
Tell us about the debate process. Now you, of course, you did all the groundwork and the door knockings and all the conversations, whether it was in the Uber or whether it was in your, in the coffee shops. There were some debates that were held in the district, I understand.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that process, that experience, and how you think you fared? I know that I attended one of them, which I was completely impressed on with your ability to stand toe to toe with these other candidates and speak your mind so eloquently. But tell us about that experience.
I must say it was the first time. Like, it's the first time that I'm running. It was the first time me being part of a debate. I was very fortunate to be part of it. A lot of us candidates in the Trillium Party were being blocked for any debates from any of the ridings. So I was very fortunate. So when I got the opportunity, I jumped on it right away. I said, I'm there. How would you say? I mean, it's something new. It's something different. But I was ready, no matter how is. I figured, you know what? I'm just going to speak from my heart, how I really feel and what I really want to do. And that's exactly what I did. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of nerve-wracking because it's something the first thing you do. But I found that when I was sitting at the table, that's when I was going like, here comes the next question, right? But as soon as I got the mic, I just felt like... it was, like how they say is just pretend nobody's in the room and speak.
Right.
It was kind of one of those things where, like I just felt so comfortable, and I was actually pretty happy with the results.
You did well. I thought you did well.
Thank you.
I believe that the turnout was quite good as well. I was very surprised with that. So the other candidates, I believe there were 4 candidates there the night. That evening was yourself, the representative for the NDP party, the lady Deanna Scrow, and the PC candidate as well.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
and I mean, they've all had experiences in doing debates. So this was my first. So I, from seeing the way each one participated in the debate, I think overall I did pretty good. Yeah.
I think you did very, very well as well. And again, I'm going to reiterate that. But one of the reasons why I'm really emphasizing this is because this show is called Ordinary People Can Do Extraordinary Things. And I just want to let you know that I think you are an excellent example of what the messaging of this show is all about. Yeah. That you were willing to speak truth to power. You didn't have any hidden agenda. You were just a person who decided to stop talking about the changes that you'd like to see in your community and start to action the, put your words to action to make a difference. And that is, in my personal opinion, why you fared so well and you were so well received. But let's talk about the election outcome now. So we know that this was a liberal stronghold for the longest time. Yep. But it's no longer a liberal stronghold. No. What happened?
I think it was just people were just tired of everything that had to do with the Liberal Party in general. And I think there was a couple of things, too, that I think was a little bit against Deanna Scrow. And unfortunately was mentioned as well in there, which I don't think it was a place that it should have been mentioned during the debate. But I think really it was just the overall people not being happy anymore with where the Liberal Party has taken us. And as you know, many of these, being part of the big 3 that we call it, which is the 3 parties, you don't really represent the people. You represent as the party.
The party.
So you kind of get connected to whether you can be offering, whether you want to do certain things and your heart is really truly in there. You're really not people are not looking at you as the person, but are looking at you as really the party. And I think that is the reason why there was such a big change.
Well, I was so fortunate enough to be able to get in one of the questions at that debate. Yes. And I was very pleased to see that the audience received the question very, very well. They were impressed with it. And my question was simply this to the candidates. We've been around politics long enough to know that the term party politics is alive and well. And party politics speaks to the fact that the party will make a decision generally from the higher levels, and all of the members of the party have to toe that line. That's right. And they have to vote with that thought process and make their decisions have to be in line with the party leaders' decisions. And I personally felt that the Ward 7 district, like I'm sure many other districts out there, have some unique attributes, some specific needs that need to be addressed differently.
That's right. Yeah.
And as a result of that, I thought that they would need a representative that would be prepared to stand up for the needs of that district and that community, regardless if it falls in line with the party leader.
Exactly.
And my question was, which one of the candidates here would be prepared to do that if they were forced to? And it was interesting because nobody other than yourself was able to say unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt, I would, if I had to, vote against my party's platform or wishes if it served the interest of my community best.
Yes.
And everybody else kind of, worked around it. So that tells me a lot about the Trillium Party. Is that the thinking process in the Trillium Party?
That's actually one of the mandates we have. So we do not believe in the whipped votes like the other three parties, which basically you have to do what the party says. Whether it's good for your riding or not, you have to do it. We believe that every riding is different. Every riding has their own needs. The people that live there have different needs and maybe a different riding. Like, for example, here we have more, in our riding, we have, like I say, more hardworking families. I mean, not hardworking families, but we struggle day to day. You go to maybe, the area of, Bathurst and Wilson, in that area, there's people with $1 million homes over there, as opposed to here. So our needs here are going to be very different what the needs are over there. So as a party, we believe in democracy, first of all, and believe that we have to, if we get elected, we have to represent the people, not a party. That's why every time when we go to a debate, and I said that, I said, I will stand up and I will go against the party leaders, and I will vote against, if I have to, in in Parliament, against a bill that everybody wants to pass, because I know that it's not going to be good. The advantage that we have too is if being part of the Trillium Party and being able to represent the people the way they need to be represented, is we can actually hold referendums. So if there is something that they're going to be bringing into the area and they're that they want to do here, I can actually hold a referendum and say, no, wait a second, you know what? I got to check with everybody who's elected me in my community, see if that's what they want, which is something that the others cannot do, because you just have to do with whatever they say. It's either vote yes if they want you to vote yes, or get reprimanded and eventually maybe lose your job, So that is the three parties. We're very different. We actually have to sign something, a mandate, saying that we will represent the people in our community and not the party, and go against them if we have to.
Wow. Fantastic. Yeah. You really have to applaud a party that would structure themselves in that manner. And this is why I so endorse the thinking behind your Trillium Party. And I hope that you're able to get the message out as much as you possibly can. And my hope is that your influence as a party will continue to grow right throughout Ontario, Canada, and the municipalities.
And that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're going to be doing, because we want people to know the real message and what the big difference. And you know what, we can change Ontario around very quickly if people start really knowing about what is going on in the back room, what's happening, and that is our goal. That is a goal in our next 4 years, to do that. Because people need to know. People really need to know.
Fantastic. So now that we know that Ward 7 is being represented by the NDP party now, right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about, what we can potentially be looking forward to over the next 4 years. What are your plans for the next 4 years? Are we going to see you again on the campaign trail? we want to know. We want to know all of these things. So we're going to take a quick commercial break and return, of course, with our interview with Lucy Guerrero, the MPP candidate under the Trillium Party for Ward 7, and have a great talk with this ordinary person that decided to do some extraordinary things. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be right back.
Original. You are cordially invited to the 5th annual Taste of Congo, a cultural event that brings all black descendants together. An event full of cultural exhibition, entertainment, and more. Taking place at number 1 Bloor Street East, Toronto, Ontario. Date July 14, 2018. Time 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. Single ticket is $50. Couple ticket is $95. Children is $30. Get your ticket now at www.event eventbrite.ca. For more information, 647-406-4455. This is Gbkm Endorse Event. Original. You are cordially invited to the 5th annual Taste of Congo, a cultural event that brings all black descendants together. An event full of cultural exhibition, entertainment, and more. Taking place at number 1 Bloor Street, East, Toronto, Ontario. Date July 14, 2018. Time 6 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Singles Co-op presents a 3-day supernatural crusade tagged Prophetic and Miracle Conference 2018. Theme: Sound of Abundance Season 13. Ministering: Dr. Chris Okafo. Date: Monday 16th to Wednesday 18th of July 2018. Time: 4 p.m. Venue: Paparazzi Event Center, 10.
The Vigo Awards.
Virgo International. The Vigor Awards. Vigor Awards.
Vigo Award.
Vigo Award International.
It's the Vigor Awards International.
It's a celebration.
We celebrate the unsung hero.
Are you a hero?
Will you be there?
Do you know a hero?
We might be at your neighborhood next.
Hi, my name is Gbkm. I am MPP designate from Mississauga, Malta.
Nominate the unsung hero in your community.
We could be coming to you next.
Be there. I want all the politicians, community leaders, the activists, the everyday ordinary people doing extraordinary things just to bless other people.
I like the idea.
This is the Vigor Awards International.
Support the Vigo Awards.
I support Vigor Awards International.
Celebrating the every.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Ordinary People Show. For those of you who are just tuning in, we have a fantastic show for you this sunny Saturday morning in Toronto, broadcasting live from the Gbkm FM platform. I'm with my first guest. Of course, you guys recognize her. She's been on the Ordinary People Show before, Lucy Guerrero, who was the candidate for MPP in Ward 7 under the Trillium Party. She ran a hard-fought race for the MPP position, but of course, you know, there's only one person that ends up being the victor, and that ended up being the NDP candidate, Mr. Tom Brockovich, I believe. Brockovich. And I'm certain, you know, there was an NDP wave going through the city, so I'm not sure that maybe if it was him or was it just the orange wave that was taking over Ontario, but definitely the Liberals are out, the NDP are in, but more importantly, what's happening with you and the Trillium Party? Are we going to see you on the campaign trail ever again?
Yes. I found that this was actually something that I was really passionate about. I think we've got a very strong message, and we definitely want to be able to help out the people in the community. So I've decided that I am gonna run again.
Wow.
Now there might be a little surprise next year, but we'll see what happens.
Okay.
But I'm definitely running 4 years from now again. Yes.
4 years, fantastic, and we look forward to that time when you announce that candidacy once again. And you know that Gbkm FM is your home,
yes,
to deliver that information, and the home for your party as well. So now that you've got some 4 years to reflect and strategize as to how you're going to move forward in trying to capture this position, are there any thoughts that come to mind, anything that you recognize would be required now in order for you to capture that spot?
I think it would be more just connecting with the people more. Seeing, I mean, there is things that I saw out there that people are not getting what certain issues that they have are addressed. Mm-hmm. And like I said, you know what? I don't think you need to be part of you don't have to be elected or anything like to be able to address those things.
Okay.
So those are things that I'm actually planning on doing. during this time that I have, I am going to address those things because there's things that are very important. It's the way some of the people have not gotten certain things addressed to them in their homes, in the way they're living and things like that, and they just don't know where to turn to. They would say, I didn't know that we can contact our MPP. Yeah, of course you can. You know what? That's what they're there for. So things that I was looking at and I was hearing that I was just shocking me, and I thought, you know what? Why can't I, just as a regular person, do something about it? And that's what I plan to do.
Wow. So now over the next 4 years, you're saying that even though a person might have not gotten the outcome that they were looking for, whether it was a constituent, maybe your party didn't win, or maybe it's even a candidate like yourself who didn't end up being the final winner, but you're saying that doesn't mean that you can't still be a part of the process.
That's right.
The decision-making process over the next 4 years. Maybe you can encourage us or tell our listeners and viewers, how does one remain a part of the decision-making process? How can we still stay involved to ensure that our voices are heard, even though the elections are now over? Do you have any suggestions for individuals that would want to continue to be a part of the decision-making process?
I think that the biggest thing would be is really get your voices heard. A lot of people, I know that there's one certain area that I went and they say, you know what, oh, forget it. We've said so many times, we've talked to people, we just are living just like that now because nobody hears us, nobody says anything, nobody does anything. And I say, you can't do that. You got to continue, you got to keep going. And if you don't tell one person, then tell somebody else. Eventually there's somebody that's going to hear. Eventually it's somebody that's going to want to do something about it. So I think that is the biggest thing, is get involved. Let people let your voice be heard is the biggest thing, because if you silence yourself, people won't know what it is that you need, what is happening, what is going on. And you know what, we're going to keep a very close eye as a party. We are going to keep a very close eye to the newly elected members of each of the different ridings. As myself, I'm going to keep a close eye, and I'm going to see if the things that were promised are actually done, and if not, we're going to call them out on them.
Fantastic. That's good to hear that. So that means that holding them accountable for the promises that they made on the campaign trail is something that you yourself and members of your party are going to ensure that you follow up on.
That's right.
How does one hold government officials like the one that has now been put in place for this area accountable? Is it something that we go through Queen's Park? Is there a constituency office? What do you suggest individuals do? Do we write letters?
I think so. You know what? If you don't see that the promises that were made that you felt were important to you are being kept, well, you write to them. Write them and say, hey, remember, you made this promise. What's going on with this? And sometimes, you know, you think that maybe one voice might not will make a difference. It will. And if not, then, hey, let's group together and all together let them know. This is what you promised. You're not doing this.
Fantastic.
What's going on?
Fantastic. Now, do we have any elections scheduled to take place? Are there any further elections scheduled to take place in 2018? I know the mayor. We've got a mayoral race that should be coming up in October, if I understand that correctly. Are there any other political offices that could potentially come up for a re-election within the next year or two?
Within the next year or two. Well, right now they're doing for the councillors, so they're
city councillors.
City councillors
That's
as well.
October
That's
vote.
Right, coming up, and then next year is the federal elections.
Right.
So for MP.
Wow.
So I might just surprise you.
Okay, that's good. Well, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. Breaking news. We might get surprised because Lucy just might be back on the campaign trail sooner than you thought. Yes, next year should be a doozy. We've got a federal election coming through.
Federal election, that's right.
Thank you so much for being here with me today. Lucy, I just want to thank you so much for your participation and your interest in the Ward 7 community. You could clearly see from the bottom of your heart that it was something that was personal to you, and it showed. And we were very happy to support you along your journey, and we look forward to continuing to do that going forward. Don't stop, because you are a role model for the ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
Thank you. And you know what? And that actually motivates me to do even more. because I know that there's a lot of people out there that they just need that little push, you know. And I loved it. I loved the whole process. I loved the meeting of the people. That's who I am. I always say in anything that I've done, I've always made sure that there is that the reason why I'm doing it is because I want to help. Even in sales, I've been doing sales for many years, but every product, every service that I have linked myself to be able to sell, it's always been for something to be able to help somebody out. I just cannot sell a product just because of selling to fill my pocket. No, there has to be a reason for it. And the first thing is, like I always say, if you help people, the monetary compensation comes later. First thing is you have to do it with your heart and help people out.
And the money will eventually
Exactly.
come.
That's it.
Fantastic.
Then you'll be blessed.
Great words of wisdom from a lady who put it together, and she did it for herself. We're so proud of her once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you for tuning in today to the Ordinary People Show. As I mentioned to you, we've got 2 blockbuster interviews, and we just wrapped up the first one with Lucy Guerrero, MPP candidate under the Trillium Party of Ontario. We're going to take a quick commercial break and come back with the second part of our interview with the reggae recording superstars Laser Current and Herbie Fabulous. They're there in the house, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk to them about their upcoming show, August the 17th, and everything reggae. We're going to find out what's going on the reggae circuit in Toronto and get updated. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Thank you so
Jacqueline.
much. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dance Court Unit 8, Etobicoke, Ontario, M9W, 5TB, Canada. Jesus is Lord. Greater Liberation City and Chris Akafa World Outreach Ministries, COWOM, present a 3-day supernatural crusade tagged Prophetic and Miracle Conference 2018. Theme: Sound of Abundance, Season 13. Ministering: Dr. Chris Akafa. Date: Monday 16th to Wednesday 18th of July 2018. Time: 4 p.m. Venue: Paparazzi Event Center, 10 Dance Court Unit 8, Etobicoke, Ontario, M9W, 5TB, Canada. Jesus is Lord.
People doing extraordinary things in our community.
The Vigo Award is coming to your community next.
Be there.
My name is Pascal Atoma, and I support the Vigo Awards International Canada.
My name is Queen Belave Olotu, and I'm the ambassador for Vigo Award International Toronto, Canada, and I endorse this message.
My name is Queen Amina, and I endorse this message.
It's a Vigor Award.
Virgo International. The Vigor Awards. Vigor Awards.
$50. Couple ticket is $95. Children is $30. Get your ticket now at www.eventbrite.ca. For more information, 647-406-4455. This is Gbkm Endorse Event. Original. You are cordially invited to the 5th annual Taste of Congo, a cultural event that brings all black descendants together. An event full of cultural exhibition, entertainment, and more. Taking place at number 1 Bloor Street East, Toronto, Ontario. Date July 14, 2018. Time 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. Single ticket is $50. Couple ticket is $95. Children is $30. Get your ticket now at www.eventbrite.ca. For more information, 647-406-4455. This is Gbkm Endorse Event. Original. You are cordially invited to the 5th annual Taste of Congo, a cultural event that brings all black descendants.
Greater Liberation City and Chris Akafa World Outreach Ministries, COWOM, present a 3-day supernatural crusade tagged Prophetic and Miracle Conference 2018. Theme: Sound of Abundance, Season 13. Ministering: Dr. Chris Akafa. Date: Monday 16th to Wednesday 18th of July 2018. Time: 4 p.m. Venue: Paparazzi Event Center, 10 Dance Court Unit 8, Etobicoke, Ontario, M9W, FITD Canada.
Vigo Award International.
It's the Vigor Awards International.
It's a celebration.
We celebrate the unsung hero.
Are you a hero?
Will you be there?
Do you know a hero?
We might be at your neighborhood next.
Hi, my name is Gbkm. I am MPP designate from Mississauga, Malta.
Nominate the unsung hero in your community.
We could be coming to you next.
Be there. I want all the politicians, community leaders, the activists, the everyday ordinary people doing extraordinary things just to bless other people.
I like the idea.
This is the Vigor Awards International.
Support the Vigo Awards.
I support my...
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ordinary People Show. My name is Jacqueline Dixon, and you're tuned in live. We're broadcasting live out of Toronto, Canada, powered by Gbkm FM radio. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today to our special double whammy episode of the Ordinary People Show. And especially on a weekend like this where there's so much happening in the city, for those of you who are listening to us, whether you're listening to us on our TuneIn app, maybe you're watching on Gbkm TV on our YouTube channel. If you're there, please subscribe, like the page and subscribe. Or maybe you're listening on or watching on our Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today, as I promised you, the second part of the Ordinary People Show consists of a fantastic interview with two of Toronto's top rising reggae stars that I have. I got a 2-for-1 today. I'm so lucky. I have Toronto's top rising reggae stars in the house. To my left, of course, you've seen this face on the Ordinary People Show before. He's one of our favorite reggae artists that passes through the studio every so often, Mr. Herbie Fabulous. And then to my far left, of course, we have no other than the phenom himself, Mr. Laser Current. And they're here today to talk about the huge event that's coming up. You already know Gbkm has endorsed it. Social media will be buzzing about it with it very, very shortly. We've got all the social media promos coming out to hit you very, very soon in regards to the August 17th blockbuster event, Lions and Lionesses of Toronto birthday celebration, Leo Birthday Bash. It's the birthday bash to end all birthday bashes for everything Leo. It's going to be taking place at 1000 Finch Avenue West, the National Event Center, an outstanding venue that's going to be transformed into a night of elegance, extravaganza. All of that is going to be taking place with the decor and, of course, the headliners that are going to be coming through one after the next. So, major headliner on the show that night, of course, we've got Mr. Glenn Washington. He's going to be flying in for that show. But alongside of that, we've got top artists, our Toronto's own Herbie Fabulous and Laser Current. And now we want to take the opportunity to get the 411 on what these gentlemen have been up to and what we can expect. Mr. Herbie Fabulous, welcome to the show once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Hello,
being
Toronto.
here. So Herbie, this beautiful Saturday, it's sunny out there. There's all kind of events going on in the city. We ran into you last week at the Trinidad Guyana Link Up, Jamaican Link Up, yes, on the red carpet. We ran into you and Mr. Laser Current on the red carpet last week. That was an exciting event, wasn't it?
I liked it.
Fantastic. It was lots of fun.
I was the last person there.
You were the last person to leave. Well, that sounds like a Herbie Fabulous kind of thing to do. That definitely does. But tell us about this upcoming event that is going to be taking place. And then, of course, we want you to update us with, what you've been up to, yourself and Laser have been up to in the reggae
by the
scene.
way, it's Liaza.
Liaza. Okay. So for those of you, that's Jamaican for Laser. Okay.
L-A-Z-A-H.
L-A-Z-A-H. Laser.
Liaza.
Mm-hmm. So Herbie, before we bring Laser to the mic, let's talk about you. What do you got going on August the 17th? Everybody wants to know. People are starting to talk about this. It's starting to buzz around the city. What do you have happening?
That is a fabulous event. It's a fabulous concept, and it will be a fabulous annual event.
Okay.
So, I'm a Leo, August the 9th.
Okay.
So initially, I actually wanted to do a birthday bash for Leos. I actually did one before, maybe 20 years ago, but it was just a party at the club. But I wanted to go over the top this time and make it into a fabulous event. So I've enlisted some fabulous artists. This one here, Laser Current, and Mr. Glenn Washington. He hasn't been in Toronto for a few years, and a lot of people love his music.
Absolutely,
I
do.
do
He's
myself.
a legend.
Yeah, he's been around
He's
a long
a legend.
time. Yeah, and he's got a very close association with Toronto. He spent a lot of time here, so
His musical library just goes on and on and on.
And he's a great artist. He's a great artist. So he's going to be on board, and we get some funny stuff happening. Jay Martin.
Jay Martin, yes, Jay Martin's going to be on board.
Yeah, and of course, we have Jan Markson. He's a Russian comedian, magician, mentalist, / comedian. But he's very, very, very good. He does a lot of corporate stuff, and he has a very strong following in the Russian, European market. So the event is going to be at, like you said, 1000 Finch Avenue.
National Event Center.
Correct, yeah. And that general area has a lot of Russian and so forth. So
it's a multicultural area, very
very
nicely represented, nice mix of people.
Correct, and we're going to have some great food, fabulous food. And it's going to be a fabulous event.
Wow.
A fabulous evening.
Fantastic.
So we want fabulous people coming out and just have a fabulous time. Everything fabulous. Leos.
Yeah. It's all about the Leos. I'm not a Leo, but you know what? I feel like an honorary Leo member. So I'm going to be joining the Leo crew on the 17th of August.
But it's open to everybody.
Of course it is. It's open to everybody.
And the one thing we're going to make sure, the music will be fabulous. Definitely.
I'm
all across the board.
Everybody is anticipating that it will.
Yeah.
With the names that I've seen on your posters, with the amount of hype that I hear is going on in regards to this event, we expect nothing but the absolute best. Maybe we can just bring in Mr. Laser Current for a quick second, and we'll just introduce him, and we'll come back to you, Herbie. You know, you and I, we're good.
You gotta add the Jamaican to it. It's not
Liaza.
No, Liaza.
Okay, there you go. It's a Jamaican class for you, ladies and gentlemen. So, Liaza, I just want to say good morning. Maybe you could just pass the mic over there, and I just want to say good morning to you.
Good morning. Happening.
So I'm happy, I'm thrilled to have you in studio with me. It's the first time that you've been in studio on the Ordinary People Show. Hopefully it won't be the last. But once again, I was really pleased to run into you last week on the red carpet. We've got some fantastic pictures of you on the red carpet, by the way. I'll be happy to send them to you when the show is over. Can you share with us your involvement in this upcoming event, this Blockbuster Leo birthday bash event coming up on August the 17th? How are you involved, and what can we expect from you?
Well, first of all, they say the first is the last, right? So, that last thing that you just mentioned, hopefully it's not the last. The first will always be the last, so it's a cycle, goes around, comes around. Well, thank you. You know what? I've known Herbie now for some time. Good friend of mine. Very, very good brethren. And all things fabulous. Things will be happening on August the 17th. He got in touch with me because I live both here in Canada and also in Jamaica. Wow. So he got in touch with me in Jamaica and mentioned the fact that he was going to be doing this and that he would like to have me as a part of it. And I was very excited about it. I said, yeah, man, I'm good to go, So I'm here and doing all the things necessary to make this be a fabulous and a successful event.
I suspect that it will be. I mean, just again, like the hype, the momentum is starting to build. The ticket outlets, I've seen talk to a few businesses that are signed on for ticket outlets. So there's all sorts of different ways to get the tickets now for the event, which is fantastic. The posters look hot. I just saw the latest poster came off the press this morning. We're going to be circulating that through social media very, very shortly. So things are heating up really, really nice. nicely. But for those of you who have not been introduced to laser current in the past, I know my viewers have been introduced to Herbie, and we are going to get back to Herbie. Can we spend some time talking about laser current?
Laser.
Who is laser current, and what exactly does he do? What kind of music does he specialize in? What can we expect from you?
Well, okay, laser current has been in the Toronto scene, musical reggae scene, for quite some time. I started out with a band called Messenger, and lots of people out there would know of Messenger.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
so you were one of the original members?
One of the original members.
Wow.
I was a keyboard player, and after a time I became also one of the vocalists, lead vocalists. But as a keyboard player, it was like me running from behind the keyboard and going out front and doing my thing, and then get back to the keyboard and play some keyboard. Yeah. So it started out that way. After a time, I started going to Jamaica, making singles, bringing them back to Toronto, getting them airplayed, right? And it built to a point where I did an album. My first album entitled Glorious Ride, right? That album was nominated for the Juno Award.
Fantastic.
Should have won. But you know the politics of the thing. So, and from there, like I won DJ of the Year award here in the Canadian Reggae Music Award show. Back in the days, Winston knew it. So I won twice, right? And of course, like I said, the album got nominated for the Juno Award. Since 2003, I've been living in Jamaica.
Okay.
So I've been traversing back and forth from Jamaica to Canada.
Is that because of the need for you there, your music and the role that you're playing there?
Yeah, Jamaica. Okay, Jamaica is really like a springboard as it relates to getting your music to the whole world. Everybody around the world will zoom in on Jamaica when it's reggae music. So a lot of artists who's been here, they leave and go back to Jamaica in order to get that recognition. So that was my intent, to be able to go and get the recognition around the world. Canada is okay. The music is going on okay. The industry is building. However, I don't see where people are, zooming as much as they would zooming on Jamaica. So, like I say, a lot of artists would leave. Glenn Washington, for instance, he was here for a time too. But
I do remember Glenn Washington in the early days. I think Toronto was his base originally, if I remember correctly.
Playing drums with Leroy Sibbles and countless other musicians.
Right. Okay.
And then after a time, he recognized the need to leave here and go somewhere else to get that break, that big bus. And so said, so done. He left and went to Jamaica. And from there, things just blew up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Fantastic. So in the time that you spent in Jamaica from 2003, did you make more music while you were down there? Did you make any more albums? Did you tour while you were there? Were we hearing any of your music here in Canada while you were recording down there?
Yes. After my first album, I made my second, third, and fourth album in Jamaica, and I now have an unreleased album also that's coming up. On that album, my fifth album, it features a collaboration with Luciano, Ja Messenger. So I'm very proud of that, right? But I have been working hard, countless studios, working, and music has been playing here for me in Toronto. Not as much as I would want it to happen, but I'm still getting recognition. They say out of sight, out of mind. But I'm still getting my recognition, and of course, a virgin like Herbie Fabulous keeps me relevant too and up to date, because he have me on his events. This is not the first one that I'm participating in. He had one back in 2016. I was there also. So this is a good, fabulous person. This Virgin is still, really
fantastic,
love
fantastic.
and respect him.
Is there any of your music that we? You said that you've got an album that you're going to be releasing shortly. Can we be so bold as to ask, will it be released on August 17th? Does that sound like a day that it might be released, or
actually, it's not ready yet to be released in its totality. However, the single, which the collaboration with me and Luciano, we're going to be releasing it tonight, in fact, on a sister radio station here in Toronto.
Wow. Okay, fantastic. So that's going to be released, because we have the capability of releasing brand new tracks right here on Gbkm FM radio also, just to put that little bug in your ear just in case.
Well, I'm here, so
we do have the ability to release them, so we have to talk. We're going to have to talk about that before the show is done, and see maybe how we can get a sneak preview on that. But that's exciting news. That's exciting news.
Thank you.
So you're back in Toronto now for the show, and also some more collaboration maybe, or what can we expect of you during the time that you're here in Toronto currently?
Well, the intention is to get on as many festivals and shows as possible. It's music, so we're working. Whenever we get the opportunity to do anything, we be doing it. So as it relates to shows, the August 17th show, plus I had a show last weekend, and whatever else comes up, we'll be doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, also studio work. If there's studio work, I'll be doing much studio work also.
Fantastic. Okay, good news. So we're going to get back to you in just a little bit. I want to bring Herbie in for just a quick second, because there's something is coming to mind right now, and I'm listening to you two gentlemen, and I know that you guys you're not rookies in this arena. You guys have been in and out of the industry for some years now, and you've been towing the load, and I'm sure you've paid the dues numerous times for this passion that you have for reggae music. Let's talk about reggae music on a whole, and both of you can contribute. Please feel free to contribute if necessary. Where do you think reggae music has come now, as far as the worldwide scene is concerned? Where do you believe we are with reggae music?
I'll let Laser answer that part of it, the beginning stages.
Well, Messenger, we were one of the first band to actually be signed to a major record label. And we toured extensively throughout Canada, throughout America. So at that time, there were a few other bands that were, around, but we were one of the foundation as it relates to reggae music here in Toronto. Mind you, there were, music coming from out of Jamaica. There were bands and artists coming up and doing their thing. But as it relates to in Canada, we had Messenger, Satellites, Truth and Rights, and a few other bands that I can, I cannot remember right now. But they were there, and that was from 1980 or so. Since then, it has developed majorly, yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you answered that question and shared that information with us, because where I was going with this, and we can still go further into this question, is reggae music on a whole, on a worldwide scale. I don't think sometimes we recognize the native Caribbeans, recognize to what extent we have impacted the music scene with reggae music, and how far reggae music has gone, how it has evolved, that it crosses every genre of music. This is what I have recognized, and I've seen for myself, that every type of music wants to infuse reggae in it.
Yes, yes, very much so.
Whereas it's not the other way around.
Very much
So the reggae is so powerful. It's so big. It has its own class to itself. It doesn't share the stage with anybody else, to the extent that, you know, you've got all these other genres of music that want to mix reggae into their platform, into their style, into their delivery, and it quite often ends up being the thing that takes that music to the next level. Here's where I'm going. Let me start with reggaeton. Do you remember reggaeton? Latin music. Latin music is hot right now, isn't it? It's hot. But I remember when Latin music became really super hot is when they introduced this thing called reggaeton. Mm-hmm. Remember that? So basically what they did was they infused the reggae music into the Latin music, and bam, it just became something phenomenal.
Well, let's put it this way. You know, back in the days, like for instance, hip hop music was really a spin-off from the DJ style music that was in Jamaica. So it started out with persons like U-Roy, Big Youth, and these people, right? And remember, the first hip-hop song that I've ever heard is a hip-hop, a hibbity hip-hop, you don't stop. Remember
Sugar Hill.
Sugar Hill Gang, right? All of these came off of reggae. And since that time, I've heard so many other music, so many other spin-off of music, which is, has that reggae influence in it. So it's a type of music that is, people, once you hear it, you just want to be grooving and moving to it. You know what I'm saying?
Is it also fair to say that it's reached a point where it's acceptable worldwide now? It's like initially, like it was only played in certain circles. Remember, it was still kind of, but
in the background.
Yeah.
Thanks, Laser, for addressing that. And the reason why I hadn't answered a question for you, that part of the question, because he's been around a lot longer than I have
in the industry.
Yeah, but I'm the new school. But let me say this to you. Reggae, like country music, and mind you, there's an awful lot of connection between country music and reggae music.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot. There's country artists, and there's country music, and there's country music fans, and they're so glued to country music. And then you have heavy metal and so forth. Reggae infuses black, white, yellow, pink everywhere. It's quite funny sometimes I'm driving or I'm sitting in the car and the car pulls up next to you and it's packed with a bunch of young white kids. And they're singing reggae music. They're bobbing and dancing and they know all the lyrics.
Yeah.
I was actually watching a show recently too with Daryl Hall and John Oates, Hall and Oates.
Mm-hmm.
And their song Man Eater, which is a very, very big song for them, that was actually written as a reggae song.
Really?
Huge. And they actually do a version of it in the reggae genre. And it's a great song, of course. Reggae, it's a feel-good music. It's like blues. You feel it, you can drink it, you can dance to it, you can listen to it all the time, everywhere. Everybody is listening to reggae music now. Everybody. It's a great music.
Yeah, so it seems to be like I was saying, it's a foundation music.
Absolutely.
that has spin off and opened the door for so many other types of music as well. I mean, look what's happening right now with African music, how that is coming in the form of Afro beats, Afro swing. And what does that do? Again, that's incorporating that reggae feel to it, that reggae rhythm that when mixed with the African music becomes something whole brand new and exciting. So, and that's...
Stevie Wonder started it as well too, with some of his reggae songs. Snoop actually... Yeah, and did a whole reggae.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy did a brilliant reggae album a little while ago.
And by the way, I just did a track with...
you need the mic?
I just did a track with a group from out of Ghana, Excellency, Very nice track, you know. So talking about that reggae Africa mixture, that's a perfect example. Yeah, nice track.
Fantastic,
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
You know, I think there's so much to be proud of, you know, in regards to what's happening in the music industry right now, that we still have our reggae stronghold that will never die, and that's not going to dissipate. But we've now adapted Afro beats, Afro swing. We got reggaeton. We've got a lot of spin-offs that is making the music industry just so much more exciting and so much more spicy, that you've got more to choose from.
What I'd like to see happen is the damn Grammys to start paying more attention to reggae music and showcasing it more. I'd also like to see Toronto, Canada, media on the whole, Canadian media, embracing it more, because we have so much talent here in Toronto. And I'm sorry, Liza, but I may disagree with you a little bit. I just think we do not get the support that we need from the media here in Toronto as reggae black artists. We do not get enough. There should be a lot more, because the audience is there, black and white, yellow, pink. They love the music, and it's great music. It's fabulous music. But we don't get the support that we need to get. So I really would like to see that changed moving forward, where the media supports artists, reggae artists, Toronto artists, Canadian artists, talent, not just even in reggae, but in general. But certainly, I don't think that we get enough support. And I don't think, not just the Grammy, I think the Juno Awards, wake up. Wake up. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, that's a great segue to go into my commercial break, because when we come back, I want to touch on this topic a little bit more. I want to peel away some of the layers, because I think you just opened up a whole can of worms here that does need to be discussed, and we have to be comfortable in speaking truth to power, because it could be this conversation that sparks somebody else's conversation, that sparks somebody else's interest, that eventually makes its way to somebody who is of influence, and that's how things get changed. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be right back after this break on the Ordinary People Show to discuss the influence, the impact, and the need to expose reggae on a more grander scale with some of these leading organizations such as the Junos and the Grammys and so much more. How can we make a difference? How can we make the changes which are necessary in these particular areas so that our reggae artists are more recognized and appreciated? We'll be right back right after this break. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Ordinary People Show.
International. Celebrating the everyday people doing extraordinary things in our community.
The Vigo Award is coming to your community next.
Be there.
My name is Pascal Atoma, and I support the Vigo Awards International Canada.
My name is Queen Belave Olotu, and I'm the ambassador for Vigo Award International Toronto, Canada, and I endorse this message.
My name is Queen Amina, and I endorse this message.
Jesus is Lord. Greater Liberation City and Gbkm World Outreach Ministries (COWOM) present a 3-day supernatural crusade tagged Prophetic and Miracle Conference 2018. Theme: Sound of Abundance Season 13. Ministering: Dr. Gbkm. Date: Monday 16th to Wednesday 18th of July 2018. Time: 4 p.m. Venue: Paparazzi Event Center, 10 Dance Court Unit 8, Etobicoke, Ontario, M9W, 5TD, Canada. Jesus is Lord. Greater Liberation City and Gbkm World Outreach Ministries (COWOM) present a 3-day supernatural crusade tagged Prophetic and Miracle Conference 2018. Theme: Sound of Abundance Season 13. Ministering: Dr. Gbkm. Date: Monday 16th to Wednesday 18th of July 2018. Time: 4 p.m. Venue: Paparazzi Event Center, 10 Dance Court Unit 8, Etobicoke, Ontario, M9W, 5TD, Canada. Jesus is Lord.
It's the Vigor Awards.
Virgo International.
The Vigor Awards. Vigor Awards.
Vigo Award.
Vigo Award International.
It's the Vigor Awards International.
Is a celebration.
We celebrate the unsung hero.
Are you a hero?
Will you be there?
Do you know a hero?
We might be at your neighborhood next.
Hi, my name is Gbkm. I am MPP designate from Mississauga, Malta.
Nominate the unsung hero in your community.
We could be coming to you next.
Be there. I want all the politicians, community leaders, the activists, the everyday ordinary people doing extraordinary things just to bless other people.
I like the idea.
This is the Vigor Awards International.
Support the Vigo Awards.
I support Vigor Awards International.
Celebrating the everyday people doing extraordinary things in our community.
The Vigo Award is coming to your community next.
Be there.
My name is Pascal Atoma, and I support the Vigo Awards International Canada.
My name is Queen Belave Olotso, and I'm the ambassador for Vigo Award International.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. My name is Jacqueline Dixon, and you're tuned into the Ordinary People Show. For those of you who are just tuning in now, you will know that I have two special guests in studio with me today, and we're talking everything about reggae. You know, we're talking about reggae, its impact, its influence, with two of Toronto's top reggae artists that have been in the game for years on top of years and have not left it behind. They've not walked away from their passion, and they're turning their passion into profit to the best of their ability, and that's because of their love for reggae music. We want to recognize them in studio today and talk about what they're up to currently, and talk about some things that they've done in the past as well. So to my left, you have once again a visitor to the station, Mr. Herbie Fabulous, one of our favorite reggae artists that visits Gbkm FM every so often. And then, of course, to my far left, Mr. Leza. Current.
Yes, sir.
Leza.
Yes.
Which is a renowned reggae artist. Was originally based in Toronto, but then went abroad to the motherland, which is Jamaica, to further his career there. But now he's back in town.
Yes.
He's back in town, and we're excited to have him here.
Yes. I just want to, follow up on what
we were talking about before the break. Yes.
The Juno Awards.
Yeah.
Very, very good award, right? Respect to the organizers and the people who deals with it. As Herbie said earlier, reggae doesn't really get highlighted, right? Commercially, reggae music is popular in terms of people doing it like us, right? However, commercially, we don't get the type of recognition that we should be getting on the radio station. After the Juno Awards, there's the reggae category, the reggae, somebody wins, and you don't hear anything from there, right? The Juno Awards, they award other genre of music. Those persons, it seemed like for some reason they get money pumped behind them and their thing just blow up. Reggae music don't blow up. What is required, I feel, is us as a community coming together, pulling together, and decide on what we're gonna do with our music, because it's our music and others are taking it and making lots of money out of it, and we're struggling, and we are the originators, the creators of it. Why can't we figure out a way so that we can make money? I left here in 2003, and in the 90s I used to put shows on at the Bamboo Club here in Toronto, right? The gate fee to get into a show at the Bamboo Club was $10, and now we're talking about 2018, and still you find reggae at a small level, struggling, stagnant. And to go inside any venue that is putting on a reggae show, it's only $10 still. I'm going, what about inflation?
Let me jump in there, because now we're on to a whole different we've opened up a whole different can of worms here, and this is a show to itself. But let me just enforce what you have just said in regards to the recognition in some of these high-profile award shows. High-profile meaning Juno, high-profile meaning Grammys. Now, yes, your observations are absolutely correct. Nobody will dispute that. But here's my question: who do we have that is championing that cause to ensure that the exposure is at its highest level? Who is taking on that responsibility to champion the cause? And here's why. Do you see all of those other genres that you're talking about? They have organizations that are championing those causes to make sure that my people, my music, my label is going to be forefront, that they're going to get the exposure that is required. Nobody's championing it. We don't have an organization that says we are a body of people that represent the reggae industry on a whole, not an artist, just the industry. And we as a body of people are a powerful enough body to demand that the reggae portion of your event be televised, recognized, and highlighted. Or we will A, boycott, or we will cause you some serious social media trouble. Huh? Has anybody ever gone to the Juno and said, we can cause you some serious social media trouble? Nobody.
You know what?
Nobody.
I think there's a lot of self-interests. Persons are put into positions where they can actually make a difference and say and do things that will help the industry to grow. But a lot of people go inside these areas and they're about themselves. So, and
rightfully
this is my artist, and I'm gonna.
That's correct.
But these people, they have the power to bring people. They have a platform that they could use and say, listen, we need to organize this thing so that it's not about just my individual artist. I'm talking about the whole industry. Because
absolutely.
money can be made. It is a music that people want to hear, people love to dance to. Last week I was performing, and there was a window, and we were playing, and I saw people passing, and you could see them out on the sidewalk, right? They were walking by, and when they heard the music, it's like they stopped. And in a half a minute or so, everybody was like dancing. The music is catching their ears. And then they walk in, pay their fare, their fee to come inside, and come inside, start dancing too. So the music has that ability to attract listeners and people, Oh, I'm sorry.
I couldn't agree with you more, but I guess where I'm going is this. I would like to see people mobilize together, not for the interest, again, of any particular artist. See, I don't have an artist. If it was a person like myself and a group of other business people or people that are of influence, and we said, listen, enough is enough now. We need our reggae artists to be exposed on the same platform that you are exposing the country in music, on the same platform that you're exposing the pop person. Give them their due respect. So it takes a group of people, in my personal opinion, to mobilize. And you got to understand how to affect change right now. Social media is the most effective way to affect change where it comes to conglomerates like the Junos and the Grammy. Because of the impact that social media can have worldwide. So I would urge anybody out there that is interested in pursuing this project of bringing awareness and more exposure and the proper respect to our reggae artists, to whether it's reggae or Afrobeats, to the urban entertainment industry, to come together, form a body, of
very,
people.
very, 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 very important. You know, like I'm both here in Toronto, Canada, and also in Jamaica. And what I see is happening is that individual artists has to promote themselves and bust themselves. Now it's getting a little bit better because now they have team effort, you know, so they bringing teams together, you know. But like I feel, for instance, Jamaica being the mecca of the music, the government, you know, and I have to bring a little bit of that inside there, right? The government is not doing enough to help the music to grow. It's the individual artist who's actually bossing himself and taking his music to the world and making his money. The government, I feel, there's so many talented young artists. The government, I feel, can develop some kind of system whereby these artists, rather than being at home, at studio, building spliff and all them things there, right? Rather than being at home, the government could set up a system whereby they could actually send these individuals out because they're talented enough to hold a crowd and perform, right? So years pass and they're not doing anything. Can you imagine if the government set up a system and they were going out and every month they come back with a couple $1,000 US? It would make a huge difference in terms of the music back home.
Well, that's a great ideal, and I would encourage you to pursue that. And any organization out there, I know that there was a reggae conference that was held in Toronto this year, and when that reggae conference was held in Toronto, it got very little exposure. I stumbled on it. And when I stumbled on it through the advertising that was made, I was really disappointed that I actually reached out to them. I reached out to them to let them know that Gbkm FM is a radio platform that would love to cover this conference. It was the first of its kind. I never even got a return email. So that's to show you, that you got to take these things seriously. A media outlet reaches out to you. You're keeping a reggae music conference here in Toronto, and a media outlet reaches out and says, we'd like to cover this. This is interesting. And you didn't have it within your group to respond. That shows me your level of professionalism and interest in getting this message out. That was really disappointing, and I had it in mind to go after the organizer, but I said, you know what? Our people suffer for lack of knowledge, so that this is an experience that they're going to have to figure out for themselves.
Let me also say this to you. You ever I watched a show many years ago. I think it was Montel Williams' show. Where you remember Montel Williams many years back, and there was a white couple that had, they had a little baby there, and Montel was trying to say to them, listen, these babies don't know anything about racism or hate. So he had a little baby, their son, and another little black baby in the green room, and they were just playing with each other and having a great time. Hate, racism, prejudice, and that kind of stuff, it's learned, and as we grow, we can make decisions for ourselves. There's a lot of old suits, old corporates in the industry. Their mentality is still old and backwards. I do think that the younger generation now, they listen to everything. Reggae music, the old suits are still confining reggae music to black people or Jamaicans, that type of thing. It's not. It's music. It affects black, white. It's a global music. So we have to approach reggae music, if you will, on a global scale with global thinking, okay, and a mass thinking. Because when you look at a band such as Magic, Magic is a white band. Their biggest song is a song called Rude. It's a reggae track, and everybody listens to that song. It's a great song. The album was really good, They're a white band, like I said. The Police is not hardcore reggae, but they're reggae influence, very much so. So Ziggy Marley came here. I went to the Ziggy Marley show last year at Danforth Music Hall, and 95% of the people that were there, they were white people, and they loved the music, dig the music. So.
But does it matter though? Does that matter who attends?
No, it doesn't, because music fans are music fans.
Right.
But what I'm saying is the people behind who controls and pushes buttons, their mentality has to change. So, for example, when you talk about the Junos, it has to be put out there. Reggae music has to be put out there for everyone, because the audience is there. You don't walk on the street and people say, "Oh, I'm a white person, I'm a black person, I only like reggae or rock or this." People just like music. They hear it sounds good, and they just listen to dance and music. And it's more so prevalent with the younger generation. They just listen to music.
Fantastic. So I'm glad we had the time to spiel off about this and get our, and blow some steam off. But I'm glad it's now. Hey, the world can view this show. For years to come, and know that we had our say. We got to say what we had to say about it.
Support the music.
Support the music. Mobilize is probably the biggest thing I want to say today. Just get together and mobilize.
I think on the whole, media outlets needs to start playing more reggae music.
Local artists.
More local artists. Especially.
Yeah.
Give them their platform.
Good stuff.
Support is necessary.
Absolutely, I agree.
Definitely necessary. Like you say, mobilizing is very important. An